It's time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone. Bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We got Brian Falconer, co-host of Cigar Talk, in the studio. How's it going, brother?
Hey, bro, it's doing good, man.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
You know, literally minutes since we did the last show. And so, you know, we both have things coming up in regular life that prevents us from recording one show a week.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a double hitter.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like Babe Ruth. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Old racist white guy pointing a bat. No, I'm just kidding. You know, we got to do what we got to do to make sure we always have a show for the guys.
That's correct.
We did a Light 'em Up crew show. We did two
Double.
yesterday with a Julio. And it's like, we're going to take care of our people.
Oh, most definitely, man. Because that's what the only reason we are here is because of the people.
Oh, 100%.
Figuratively and the other word.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. Because
if there were no people,
there's no reason for us.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's not true.
What would we be doing every week then?
We'd be doing the exact same thing we're doing right now, but we wouldn't have any microphones.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But
Right?
it'd still be people.
Me and you.
Yeah, and Larry and Julio, as he called him.
I broke the PG-13 right out the
Oh,
gate.
I just realized that.
Sorry, man. I was trying. I wasn't trying because I wasn't focused. I really attempted last week to do the PG-13. This week, it's like, boom,
Right
we're
out
out
the
of the
gate.
gate.
It's done.
So strap
Over.
yourself in if you're going to watch this show.
Or done and over.
Yeah.
Why?
Sorry.
Why?
It was one of those where it was just like it was the perfect time for that
Fluid.
word.
It was fluid.
Right.
It's
It
just
was.
flowed.
I thought I'm going to use the F-bomb. I use it on a regular basis, and because that word has so many options for meaning that it's like I'm rotating that one in. It's like, hey, I don't want to see that word on the bench. Get your ass out here.
You're like, you took the Samuel L. Jackson School of English. There's one word that describes everything.
And that's almost true.
And you use it regularly.
Because I dig it.
I see.
I dig it.
I see.
Do you know how awesome? No, awesome. Let me back up. Do you know how often?
Oh, often. Okay. They started off the same.
The brain fart. Often. So no, I use that word on a lot of responses on social media. And I think when I say I dig it, like sometimes it's about music, sometimes it's about cigars, sometimes it's about bourbon, sometimes it's about just random stuff. But my response is, yeah, man, I dig that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think people understand the level of like, I'm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I say I dig it, that's like one of the ultimate compliments.
I got a friend that used that word more than you.
Really? Well,
His nickname in the hood was Dig. Because every time he said anything at the end, dig it.
Well,
dig
see,
it.
for me though, it's like when I say that, I'm giving my stamp of approval.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people have no idea what I dig it means, so it's lost.
Gotcha.
Like if you're doing something and I say, yeah, that's badass, I dig it. The dig it part, they're just like,
That's
all
the
right,
exclamation.
dude's old.
No, that's the exclamation.
But that's
from
what
you.
they think.
Yeah.
And what it really means is I'm giving you my stamp of approval. And I don't do that with a lot of people.
I understand. We know that.
You have to earn the I dig it.
So there's few people that will never earn the I dig it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean.
We're not going to say any names. stop, because you were getting ready to say names.
Wow.
We're not going to say any names.
Wow.
Now just stop.
Because I already had like a
I
couple.
know. I saw that look on your face. I'm like, nope, stop.
I was like,
See, he's still going to say them. Look at him.
No,
He's still
I'm not.
he's
I'm
like,
not.
"Oh,
I'm not.
I got to get him off my mind.
I'm not.
Okay.
I appreciate you bringing it to the forefront. I just think it's funny that I had already thought of a couple of names, and I was like, yeah, they don't get this. And then I was going to give the name, and you're like, don't do it.
Just stop.
Don't do it. Don't say Fritz. Do not say Fritz.
Done.
You know what I mean? No. I'm just saying I wouldn't do that.
But you did. You just did. You just did. Just leave it alone. Stop. Let it go.
Okay,
Let it
fine.
go.
Be that way.
Let it go.
You know what? Let's talk about what we're smoking.
Dude.
So I'm taken back. I'm like, you know what? I've spread a lot of bad information about this company, but so far they sent us some sticks to smoke.
It's like,
And so far the first two smokes I'm smoking, I'm like, damn.
this is the third one I'm on, and I have to say that no matter what, my mind has changed. It's changed. And we've had three, they've had two, I've had three different variations, three different Vitolas of sticks. They had the Revenant that was more of a, what would you say?
Well, it was the Corojo.
Corojo.
And
now we're smoking.
It was like a really plethora of flavor
Flavors.
profiles coming out of it. And like, dude, if you look at this is the Gurkha Revenant Maduro.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know if you can see it on YouTube if you're watching, but dude, that oily wrapper.
Yes.
It reminds me of the oiliness of the Cabinet 6 LFD of old.
That's what it looked like.
Like back in the
Yep.
day.
That's what it looked
now,
like.
it's not, you remember that cigar was very rough. Like
This isn't.
this is like ultra smooth, but at the same time, it has that oily sheen that I'm like, they weren't messing around.
No, sir, they weren't.
They brought it. They brought it.
I had the Nicaraguan first. That was a good smoke.
No, you had the Corojo first. Right. Oh, no. You had the other one.
I had the Nicaraguan first. He was wrong.
Boo.
That one was good, and that kind of sent me back to the other side a little. I was still teetering.
like
then-
I smoked one of those
Yeah.
before you came, and
Okay.
I was like, that was a good smoke.
Yeah.
I wasn't like writing my dead
No,
sister's
no,
name
no.
on an envelope,
No.
type love, but it was good.
And then we smoked the Revenant, the Corojo.
And that
That was like,
on
okay,
fire. That was on fire.
It totally dropped the teeter down. I was like, okay, I'm with it. Then you brought out the Revenant Maduro. And I'm like, okay, can they go 3 for 3?
And because I've only had two, I was like, will this cigar match the level of sophistication that really makes a cigar one that you want to freaking smoke? And you know what? So far, I'm only in the first third.
Yeah.
So there's still time to disappoint. But so far, I'm like, holy crap.
I'm sitting up here looking at it like, man.
I've said a lot of negative
I was
things
incorrect.
about Gurkha.
I was
I've
incorrect.
I've said a lot of
You're not the
negative
only one.
things
You're not
about
the only
Gurkha.
one. You're not the only one.
So and so you guys know, if at all possible, the guest on this
Yes.
episode is Juan Lopez, the vice president of Gurkha.
Yes, sir.
And dude, now if that doesn't work out, we'll have somebody else. But I want to say that the plan is we're going to meet up on this coming Thursday
Yeah.
and do it, which means I got to get the edit done quick
Yes.
to make it next week's show. So if it doesn't happen, it's going to be my fault.
Got you.
So I'm hoping that's who you guys hear from, because so far I can't wait to talk to the dude.
Because
I really want to be like, all right, dude, when I'm wrong about something, I want to know.
Yeah, that is true.
I do.
Because you're going to sit back and like, was I? Okay, yeah, I was. I was wrong.
Right, yeah. And it's like, if I give you, well, I say if I give you the opportunity to prove me wrong, I want you to go full force and show me how I was wrong.
Gotcha.
But in this instance, I didn't request this.
Nah.
They came to us.
Yes, they did.
And that automatically bumps them up of a level of a cigar company that shows me they care.
Yeah. Because
and I never thought they cared. I thought Gurkha was like, we're gonna make 1,000 different cigars and y'all smoke them.
Hey, we don't care.
And we don't give a fuck. I already said it once. Might as well say it again. What you guys think? You know what I mean? That's how I felt about Gurkha.
No, we don't know what you mean, Rob. Tell us what you mean, Rob.
Well, I mean, when a company has 1,000 vitolas of 1,000 lines, I don't know what I want to smoke.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to smoke all of them, especially when I smoke a few bad ones.
Yeah. And then with the reputation that they had put upon themselves, because nobody put it on them but themselves, or what their culture had turned to.
And that's one of the things that also I'm going to ask him about point blank. I want to say, you know what? Let's talk for just a second, because I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Lopez, that the two Revenant cigars, I could see those making it into my routine.
Wow.
Right.
Especially with the price, when we find out what the price of them were. Yeah.
And so, I mean, 13-year-old tobacco.
Yeah.
And it
under $10. Under $10.
And it's been like a cigar that I'm going to tell you right now is up in the upper echelon of cigars.
Gotcha.
I told you it measured up to the 2019 Alec Bradley Rare and Fine. And you know what I think about that. And so I'm going to give you a chance. Now, that's not the only reason that I quit. I quit liking Gurkha because I smoked a lot of bad Gurkhas. But later on, that's not the only reason that I boycotted Gurkha. And let's talk about that for a minute. It's like the CEO and owner makes a comment that he doesn't like, doesn't support. I don't know the details, but it was a negative statement about Black Lives Matter. And you know what? If that's your perspective, I'm going to listen to it, and I respect what you have to say. But when you come back the next day and say your computer was hacked, now it's like, I don't respect you at all. Because now you're trying to save face by something you said. I don't want to see you save face. I want to hear the reasons why you said what you said. Because if you explain it to me, we can have a conversation. But when you run like a little bitch and say that my computer was hacked, now I don't respect you because there's no conversation to have other than I don't believe you.
Because I can agree to disagree with you. But the problem is when you make a statement and then you run from it because you see the backlash that came from it.
Right. You know what? You're willing to fucking make the statement.
Stand on it.
Step up and explain yourself.
Stand on it.
Don't take the easy way out of saying my computer was hacked.
Because that's the one everybody wants to pull out now.
I mean,
I was hacked. What?
That is such bullshit.
What? If you were hacked, I mean, truly, if you were hacked, the minute the statement went out, I'd have sent something right behind it.
Hey, how about I hired the bear claw of network security, and they can show you the logs of a different ISP logging into my account. Okay? That backs
proves
it up.
Yeah, that proves it. However,
we didn't do that.
No.
We just said my account got hacked, and then a few days later, he steps down as the CEO. So
And
why? If your computer really did get hacked,
Why did you
are
step
you
down?
stepping down? And if you don't feel that way, how come you're not writing a check to show at least I support these dudes?
Some form of support.
Right.
And my thing is, if you're going to make a statement, stand on it. If you're not going to stand on it,
Stand on your belief. I mean, if
Move
you don't have to support a cause that I believe in, but you also can't be chicken shit and say that I didn't say this and whatever. So anyway, I don't want to keep beating the dude up because you apparently should know how I feel.
yeah.
But fast forward to 2022, Juan Lopez reaches out and shows like he's a gentleman. He cares about the brand, and he wants to bury the hatchet.
And move forward.
That's how I see it.
And move forward. And by moving forward, he's reaching out and saying, "Okay, I saw the T-shirt. Tell me what's behind that." And then after you gave your reason, said, "Give me a chance. Give us a chance to show you that we aren't who we were back then."
Right.
And that's the thing that got me. He's like, okay, he's asking us for an opportunity to show, okay, it's changed.
Right.
Come on, bruh. How can you not acknowledge that?
And let me tell you this, like, especially for Gurkha and their experience in the political realm, which I think they wish they would never have gotten into, they reach out to us. And I want to say that I believe that one of the reasons is because we are a multicultural show in the fact that I'm a white dude who grew up in West Texas. You're a black dude that grew up in East St. Louis.
Yeah.
You couldn't find two guys that grew up
so far apart.
Right.
And we're talking about not miles, but on the spectrum.
On the spectrum. And here we are, great friends.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a show, but also we bring different perspectives to the show.
Oh, yeah.
So hats off to Gurkha for extending the olive branch to our show. And we appreciate that.
Because we know we're not anybody.
Right. I mean, we're just two dudes that talk about the cigar lifestyle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so, you know what? And so far, I'm digging this one too.
You haven't heard me say anything about it, so
What do you think so far?
it's a good stick, man. Everything about it. The retro hair, like you gave me your impression of it in the beginning, it's still the same. It's smooth, and right at the last second, you get that little
kick.
I'm here.
Right?
I'm here. And it's each time.
And it's like
the chocolatey
it's
notes,
like getting
man.
a smooth retro hell from a cigar that's not a medium minus.
Oh, yes.
It's a medium plus.
Yes.
And you're still getting a really smooth retro hill. So hats off to the Revenant Maduro as well as the Corojo.
I like
But right now I'm going to tell you I like the Corojo better.
Yeah.
That's my profile. But a Maduro, which I really don't smoke that often, this is nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it reminds me of is the Steve Saka Sin Compromiso. But it's not as sweet. It's not as chocolatey. But the quality is there. Yeah. And I'm going to say that this cigar actually is more oily.
It is.
Than most other Maduros I've seen on the market right now.
Definitive notes. You can enjoy it. It's a nice little ride. It's a nice little ride. And I have to be honest, man. I got to give them a good. I'm in my third now, and I'm just like,
and you've smoked 3 Gurkhas tonight.
Dude.
When would you think that you would have smoked 3 Gurkhas?
It wouldn't have happened.
You would have smoked 1.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't
happened.
either because it's like not doing it. I'm not giving.
And that's a testament to us and what we believe about the cigar community.
Well, we're going to give people second chance.
Yes, you have to.
I mean, if you're one of those people that, like, let's say you get offended, and now I'm just done with you forever.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that is so shallow.
Because people change. And you have to give
but
them an
also,
opportunity to change.
you can't make a decision on a company like Gurkha for what one individual did.
Yeah. And
if we got rid of that guy and now we've like formulated because let me tell you what I think happens. Okay, so you got this guy who's a CEO. Mm-hmm. He has a certain perspective that a lot of people don't agree with. Mm-hmm. He wasn't man enough to say, yeah, I back this up, and this is the reason why. Mm-hmm. Okay, but you have other guys in his organization that's like, that dude doesn't represent me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so if you judge a company on one person's perspective, you're not giving them a fair shake because there's other people in that organization that don't think that way.
And that's what we have now.
Right.
That's where we are right now.
And at least I hope that's where we are.
Because
but
that's what Juan did with reaching out to us. He's letting us know that's not everybody's perspective. Here's where we are. Here's where we're trying to go. Give us another chance.
Right.
And if you have an issue with the sticks,
and if you as a manufacturer ask me to give you another chance, I will every time. Yeah. Every time. Because I'm at the core a cigar smoker that wants to find great sticks.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Yeah. You send me some sticks and I hope they are great. And you know what? These two, the Revenants, wow. It's been a great cigar.
Yes, sir.
A great cigar.
Sir. Yes, sir. We had to give it to him.
Change cameras, bro.
It's at that point where we have to, it's not like we're swallowing crow, but we're owning up to where we were and where we are now. It's a change.
Well, I don't even think you can look at it that way. I don't, because even though I've talked nonsense or negatively about...
Dude, you made a shirt.
I know. If you don't have the LeBuckian shirt, look down the show notes.
Show notes.
But what I mean is, like, I can't tell people to be open to other people, other brands in the cigar community if I'm not willing to do that.
Yeah. I got you.
So as much as I've talked about Gurkha, if I said not interested, that's not the cigar community way.
No.
You want to give me the opportunity to have an experience, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've had cigar companies send me cigars, and I don't enjoy the experience, and I don't talk about them. Mm-hmm. But that's also based on my palate.
Yeah, got you.
So I can't tell you these cigars suck because there's somebody who likes them.
True.
That doesn't mean I'm going to promote them because if it didn't work for me, it didn't work for me.
And we're not walking that walk anymore.
Right. So the fact that you say, hey, dude, when's the last time you smoked Gurkhas?
Yeah, and he did.
It's been 5 to 7 years. Okay, let me send you what we're doing today.
Try us now.
I appreciate that because without that reach out, I probably would have never given them another chance.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my fault. But now, and that's something I'm going to ask him. How would I know what I want to smoke when you have a cigar line bigger than Rocky Patel's? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't smoke Rocky just very often because I don't want to make my way through that journey. My journey is on cigar types. Yeah. It's not on brands. Yeah. And when you have to make a journey that's all one brand just to figure out what you like, and they have 15,262 different cigars.
15,262.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's an out of ordinary number. 15,262.
I like to be precise.
We see.
I'm always precise.
15,262.
And so I do appreciate the reach out.
Gotcha.
That meant a lot to me.
Gotcha.
Because I know you think about it. Gurkha's not hurting on sales. No. I don't think. Because there's a lot of people that love Gurkha.
Yeah. No matter what.
So to reach out to a guy who is known for putting my brand down.
Yeah.
That says a lot about the character behind the vice president.
To me, just reaching out to us, we're nobody.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Just reaching out to nobody and saying, okay.
And I would like to qualify that, because if this was a one-man show of just like Rob Jones and Cigar Talk, then you got somebody. But when you add Bryant, it lowers the average so far down.
Wow.
I'm messing with you, bro.
Wow.
I
I will take that because
know,
I know.
you know what I'm saying. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm going to have one of those bourbon before Larry gets it.
Because every time Larry asks, let me get now. Nobody's going to get it now.
I got it.
Yeah, nobody else is going to get it.
You want to get it, want to get it, want to get it. What's that song? Everybody want to get it? Something. I don't know.
Never going to
get it. That's not me.
We know.
I got it. Larry, he's not going to get it.
Oh, my God, man. Let's talk about some of our sponsors, man.
Okay. Fair enough.
Start off with the home shop, The Leaf.
The Leaf. You got the sign on the wall. Down in the show notes, you have the phone number to order cigars from Jay. And we talked about it on the Light 'em Up Crew Show last night at the level of, like, when Jay says he wants to give the customers an experience. Dude, I mean, nobody else at any shop, and I'm not just talking a cigar shop, I'm talking any business across the board, you don't have the experience you have at the Leaf.
No.
Because it's like when you go to the Leaf, there is a quality level of service, there's a quality level of the goods available, and he makes you feel like you're part of the Leaf.
100%.
And so, like I told Julio last night, I was like, not only is other cigar shops not meeting this standard, I don't know of any fucking, excuse me, I don't know.
That's the third one.
I don't know of anybody that goes to the levels of making you feel like you're part of the establishment.
Like they do. True.
Not even close.
True.
Where else? Where else would you go?
I cannot give you a place. I really can't. And we've been talking about this for years now, and I still can't think of anywhere that
cigar-wise or not
that the owner, not just owners, have a mindset of just provide. I mean, going over and above to provide that every time, man.
Yeah. So, you guys, you know, they carry both of our sponsored cigars, which is McAuliffe and Tabanero.
Yes, sir.
Call them up because they are going to hook you up. They are going to ship it out. And everyone I've talked to that's ever ordered from the Leaf gets their cigars in 2 days.
Yeah. He doesn't play.
And they have Bovetta packs in there to protect the integrity of the humidification that you will find at the Leaf in the humidor.
Humidification. He said that perfectly. Uh-oh.
I was on a roll.
Uh-oh.
I was on a roll. No, I'm serious, though. That's
that's
the way
true.
Jay does his business.
True, man.
And then let's talk about Tabanero.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about
Sun-grown.
the boutiques of the boutiques.
Boutique of boutiques.
That every cigar is like passed through the hands of the utmost quality control expert in the planet. Like the universe. I don't know who it is, but Yanko has a dude there that's like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. Okay, this one is perfect.
This.
Because
continue on this line.
In 13 boxes, I had 2 bad cigars.
That's a
and when I say bad,
ratio.
It's not even bad.
It's just the level that they set.
Right. It was like, oh, that's a little snug.
The expectation that they set, those
It's
two
high.
didn't meet that expectation. So he's like, what? And then, but you look at 13 boxes.
And wait a minute. And on both of those cigars, I took a picture, sent it to Yanko, and said, hey, man, just want to let you know there's a problem with these 2 cigars. And he's like, thank you so much. I appreciate that info because it lets me know what I need to focus on. nobody else gives a shit.
And never would have said anything back to you.
Right. Most people is like, you smoked 13 boxes and you got two. Shut up. Shut the
Next.
Right? So I appreciate like the boutique of Yonko being super focused on quality control.
Most definitely, man.
I wish everybody was that intense on that. And then you put together with a badass blend.
Next level. Next level.
Look in the show notes. We've got links to all of our sponsors. Click on them. And if there's any special promo codes, you will see that in the show notes as well. And then let's talk about McAuliffe. By now, we know when this show comes out that they have put out a Corona Petite sampler box of the entire core line. You pick a cigar they make in the core line, it's in here.
Oh, my goodness.
Times 2.
Oh, my goodness, man.
Dude.
That's a step in the... That's not just a step. That's a leap in the right direction, man. That's a leap. Most people... You take a very quality...
Dude, let me tell you this.
Not just cigar, but company.
The sampler is like under $130.
Yeah.
And you get 2 of all of the
core.
McAuliffe and then Gomez Sanchez line.
That's a walk.
Dude, that is a journey. And you know what? That's like all of my favorite journeys.
Yes. You talking about
what do you consider to be the McAuliffe upper echelon top notch cigar?
Leyenda.
It's in there.
Which is the Gomez.
It's in there. The Medallia. It's in there. The Riata. It's in there.
Goodness, man. You're talking about some sticks that you like. You have an opportunity to get the best of the best.
And go on that journey of smoking the entire line twice.
Yeah. Here again, McAuliffe has said another.
And didn't I tell you, like, they knocked it out of the park with this new edition?
Yes, you did.
Like, I told you that I always think that McAuliffe, like, kicks it up a notch like nobody else. And again, they do it over and over, and then you look at it and like
you think like, okay, they can't best this.
Why isn't everyone doing this?
And then next thing you know, they better it.
Right.
You're like, you can't best this, and then they do it, and you're like, oh, come on, man, how? That's because that's a company that thinks, first of all, outside the box. It's a company that is consumer centric, and not just us. They're the brick and mortar centric. They understand the cigar community, and they do everything they can.
I will say that they understand the cigar community, but more than that, as a cigar manufacturer, they are probably embedded within the community more than anybody I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they really, really focus on the consumers, the brick and mortar. And to have that commitment, they're blowing it out.
Yes, sir.
And so I'll show, you know what, when we take a break, I'll bring the box over here and we'll show it.
Gotcha.
Because it's going to be badass.
Gotcha.
So anyway, look down in the show notes. Case Elegance also. I mean, they build great humidors. They have great customer service. And if you're looking for a humidor that, like, you can be proud of, like, dude, I mean, my Octador, look at it right there. See it back there? I mean, it's like quality like I've never had.
It's a piece of art.
The craftsmanship, and then you
Quality.
mix it with the customer service and the preparation of you being able to season your own humidor.
Because they walk you through it.
They walk you through all of it, and they have follow-up.
Yeah.
They're not.
They
you're not
provide
on,
you with the human.
You're not on your own
system,
dude. I've I've bought humidors before, and you're just on your own.
True. Very true.
And if you Google humidification for cigars, you're going to find a million
I
different
was just going to say that.
answers. So you have to pick the one that you think that you can actually handle.
And they provide.
But they don't make you do that.
They provide.
They got it. They got it ready to go. So look down the show notes. There's a code for them, Cigar Talk coin, and you'll get a blacked out,
murdered out
coin. Do that. Check it out. Send me a picture if you get one. Because they are very limited.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, that's enough about the sponsors. So I guess we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to have Juan Lopez on, if at all possible. If it didn't work out, and that's, probably my fault, then I will have another interview from the TPE, because I've got lots of TPE interviews still in the bank.
For a while.
Yeah. So I hope that this show has Juan Lopez, because he's impressed me so far. And I can't wait to have a one-on-one conversation with the dude. And I hope that he's prepared, because if you think it's going to be like cookie cutter, I'm pitching softballs up and over the plate, that's not going to be the case. I'm going to ask the questions, and I want to see what the answers are to some of the harder questions that nobody's asking. You know what I mean?
No, Rob, we don't know what you mean. Why won't you tell us?
Has it been more than twice?
Dude, we've already done this in the show.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a separate show. So I told Bryant to remind me if I say, you know what I mean, more than twice. Apparently, it's been more than twice. So I'm going to say, let's find out.
Okay.
Let's find out how Juan Lopez rolls.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
You didn't say nothing. I said, you know what I mean.
It's already done. We've already accomplished this twice. Oh, man, put that thing down, dude.
Stop. Let's go to a quick break.
Yes,
we'll be right back after the interview, guys. So don't go anywhere. We'll have a quick break. I would like to just get started, man. First, I want to say thank you for reaching out, man. I mean, I was surprised. I had no idea that you would reach out. I didn't even know you would know we made those shirts. So, and let me tell you a little bit about my background, and let me introduce you to everybody. You guys, we have a special guest with us today. We have Jaun Lopez, the VP of Gurkha Cigars. And you guys know we made a shirt that said friends don't let friends smoke Gurkha, not Gurkha. We didn't spell it that way. And anyway, Vice President of Gurkha reached out and asked, he didn't I thought, when you said I'm VP of Gurkha, before I got down to the bottom, I thought you were going to be like a jerk, just, ready to kick our asses or something. And it wasn't that way at all. What it was, hey, man, I'd like to talk to you about why you feel this way. It wasn't like, you wanted to be a jerk or an asshole. It was, hey, man, I'm serious. I want to know what it is you don't like about Gurkha. And if I had smoked Gurkha in the last 5 to 7 years, which, to be honest, I told you I had not. It had probably been about 7 years ago. And anyway, that led to you sending me some cigars. And we smoked the Revenant Corojo on the show last week. And
great.
Let me tell you, I don't know if you watched, but after we started smoking them, not only were they good, they were so good that I figured, okay, he's trying to make us believers by sending us a $25, $30 stick. So then we looked them up, and no, man, those are not high expensive cigars. If you buy them by the box, you're talking $7, maybe $7.50 a stick.
Yeah, $7.50 for the $7.35 for the Robusto, $7.50 for the Toro, something like that.
I mean, that dude, first of all, hats off to making that cigar, because I compared it without looking at the prices. I compared it to the Alec Bradley Fine and Rare 2019. because one, aesthetically, it's a beautiful stick. I mean, it's really pretty. And then the smoke was, I mean, the construction was flawless. The cold draw was fantastic. And then, I mean, it just took you on a nice lift off. It didn't punch you in the face, like a lot of cigars do these days. It was like a nice lift off, and then it really takes you on this journey, a lot of different flavor profile. And it was just a great smoke. It was one of those cigars where I was like, man, I wish I had another one of these, but I gave the other two to the Larry and Brian.
I'll send you more, man.
No. You know what? To be fair, and I'm going to tell you right now, right out of the gate, when the show came out, I'm getting emails saying, "What a sellout! What a sellout!" And so I was like, you know what? I haven't told anybody this, but I told a few guys. You know what? I ordered a box. I didn't ask you for more. I went online. I found a mom and pop shop that I'd never heard of, and they sold me a box. And actually, I think the box was like 135. So that's actually a little bit less than that. And I haven't got the box yet. And so I'm going to give a report after I smoke the whole box, because, one stick, maybe you just got lucky. Maybe, now, but no, I don't think that's the case, because me, Bryant, and myself, me, Bryant, and Larry, all three just really loved it. Now, the Maduro, we all smoked, and I liked it. It was good. Bryant and Larry both loved the Maduro, but that Corojo with the Cameroon binder, wow, good combination.
It's funny so when we made the cigar, just to get a little bit into the Gurkha thing, and people that know Gurkha, right? So, we are, and I do these all the time, and I like to reach out, because I like to educate the customers that are not regular Gurkha smokers, right? So we are not manufacturers. We're tobacco merchants. That's what we are, and I tell that to everyone, so we get that out of the way. I own no.
You don't
no
claim
land.
to be a factory.
I don't claim. I don't own no land. I own no factories. But what we do have is money. So when you have money and you have people that have experience in the industry, like myself, Jim Colucci's been doing it for 47. I've been 25 years in the business, and you deal with guys like, how the best tobacco. For example, in Nicaragua, Aganosa. I think you know who they are. I think they're really solid in tobacco. We use them for 3 of our lines. We use the Cuevas family of Dominican Republic. I know you know who they are. Luis Cuevas and his dad. Amazing people, good tobacco. We use now for the Revenant, we're using Ram Rodriguez. The 70-year-old factory in Dominican Republic in Santiago, those guys, when we went down there to make that cigar, brother, I was shocked, because I knew Ram from being out there in Europe with him, in Germany, Switzerland, and whatnot. And I smoked the cigars, but I always thought they were very valued cigars. They were good smokes, not great smokes. But when you go down to his factory and you see the amount of tobacco this guy has, him and his father, they're a powerful family of cigars on there. They grow their own Corojo and Dominican Republic, the one you have on the Revenant. They grow their own their own wrapper on that. And man, I was impressed just with that. Man, when I saw the amount of Cameroon he had, and he's like, I go, so what's up with the Cameroon? He goes, you guys don't even have Cameroon on your own stuff. He goes, it's not the Cameroon that we want, because it's very fragile. And I go,
well, and after I smoked
all Cameroons are. But then I said, it's fragile, but you got some stuff here that's pretty elastically in it. And what do you use of it? He goes, we really don't use a lot of it. So why don't we try that on the binder? And he's like, why the hell not? And then we put Dominican Piloto Cubano together, some Nicaraguan tobacco together. Man, like in about 4 or 5 blends, which normally takes us 25, 30, 40 blends to get something together. We hit that cigar, and it was been a home run for us. Price point was there. I mean,
how long has that cigar been out?
Cigar's been out now since November.
Okay, so it's a relatively new line.
Relatively new. We have yet to really advertise it. It's been literally word of mouth. We're not big on advertising. We're big on spending our money. Number one, on my team, on my reps. My reps get paid well because they go out and they push a tough sell, right? So when I got to this company, we're a $3 million company, brick and mortar. This year we did $18.5 million brick and mortar. That's a pretty good jump. I mean, hey, listen, it's taken my team and I 12 years to do it. It hasn't been overnight success. But the way we did it was by starting with the first thing was, let's try to sell less to the CIs of the world. Let's concentrate on focus
on the brick and mortar.
Making mortar brands for the brick and mortar stores. So when you buy a big brick and mortar cigar, you know you're going to get the same consistent cigar on a regular basis. Luckily for us, our first one's a home run with the Cuevases, the 15, the 18. Those cigars sell really, really well. So I was watching your show the other day, and you said, because it's funny, because the one thing about the ex-owner of the company, he's still owner, but not involved with the company, Kaizad. We're still trying to sell the company. It's been now a year and a half. We've been trying to sell it. We've got a few
I figured
offers.
you just buy it, man. You just buy it outright.
Hey, listen, it's funny because I told Jim Colucci, man, I don't have that kind of money, but I know he does. I go, I'll buy into it. I'll be, I'll give a little bit. I'll get some skin in the game. But it's the number that the K wants is a really astronomical kind of number.
There's value there. I mean, there's a history there. You guys, I mean, let's just be blunt about it. A lot of people hate the name Gurkha. A lot of people love the name Gurkha. And you guys have like a cult following for Gurkha cigars. Like,
absolutely.
It just, so there's a lot of value there. It's whoever buys the company, if it sells, they're not buying, something that's in the garage sale bin. They're buying a quality company.
Well, you're buying a company that's in 70 countries. So you're buying a company that does about $4.5 million in sales international, which is pretty solid when you're competing with Cubans and all the other brands. You got a company that's in 2,233 stores, last I checked, nationwide. You have a store that's in pretty much every major store in the industry, except maybe a few guys that Kaizad pissed off in the latter years, before this. And those guys will never get us back in just because, the whole CI situation. And it happens. So listen, I handle that very carefully. The way I handle it is these guys are all my friends. I started with Tarano 25 years ago, worked for them for 12 years, worked for a year for Rocky Patel, and now I've been 12 years with Gurkha. So I literally been with two companies, if you want to really do the math, right? So it's been Tarano and Gurkha. And funny enough, we used to make Gurkhas for at Tarano. So there you go. It all came to full circle. And say so. So it's you're definitely getting a hell of a company. You're getting a hell of a team. But for us, it needs to be the right fit, and the monies that he's looking for. It's not what I feel, because I study business and I know what the company's really worth when you look at the numbers. It's more in that $45-50 million. He wants a little bit north of that. If a little bit meaning
a lot. I mean, there's got to be some part of his thinking is, yeah, you might think it's worth this, but I'm going to ask this because somebody might actually pay that. And if I don't sell, the company's doing fantastic.
Correct. The company's doing fantastic. I mean, listen, on top of just not our portfolio alone, we have about 1,200 trademarks in the cigar industry, which is crazy. But we get people calling us all the time. Hey, can you let me the trademark? Can you sell me the trademark? I mean, crazy stuff like that. But listen, we're a company that's growing. You're 100% right, Rob. As far as either you love us or hate us, there's no middle ground with Gurkha. Very few middle ground. But the people that love us really, really, truly, we call them Gurkha warriors. They love our stuff, and I think that my team and I have gone out there, and we average anywhere from 500 to 600 events a year the last 10 years.
Wow.
In-store events. It's 10 of us. So if you average it out, it's about 60. That includes festivals. Rocky Mountain. I do all the festivals every year.
Hey, I plan on being at the Rocky Mountain Fest if you're out there.
I'll be there, my brother. I've been there. I was actually, if you look at the booth number, I'm booth number 1 for Juan, because I've been selling those guys for 20 years. It's like Gallagher's.
Wow. So you were there. You were there when Rocky came up with the idea.
When the Gallagher's purchased the Smoker Friendly, I was their second vendor after General Cigars.
Wow.
Not with Gurkha, with Tarano.
Right.
And then when I went to Gurkha, obviously, they're family now. So these guys are coming to my wedding. I come to their kids' weddings, and we're family. But this is taking a lot of work. I think we're making really, really good cigars right now. Listen, I say this all the time. I think we're in a great time in our industry. In the last 5 to 6 years, there's a lot of really good cigars out there, brother.
Oh, there is.
When I got to the industry in '96, There was a lot of garbage, lots and lots and lots and lots. But it was during the boom. Everything sold. Everybody was smoking.
And we still have a lot of garbage being pushed because everybody wants to jump on that wave and make a buck.
Everybody. It's funny because the one question that I get on a regular basis, Juan, you've been doing this 25 years. You were super successful with Toronto. They sold for so many millions. You're now with Gurkha. Company's growing. You're doing great there. Your team's doing great. How come you haven't done your own thing? And I go, because my business plan says $1.9 million to do it that right way. Mind you, can I come up with my own brand for $50,000? Without a doubt. But I'm not going to have inventory. I'm not going to have marketing. I'm not going to have salespeople. I'm not going to have infrastructure that you need to succeed. I can fake it till I make it all day, every day. And yeah, make myself $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 a year and have a company. But why do that? If you don't go,
and you're going to be working your ass off like you never thought for that $60,000 or $70,000. Wow,
that is correct. You know, it's funny because I always tell people, you know, I just literally got promoted to. I was national sales director, making really good money for a long time. So 4 years ago, Colucci goes, "Nah, man, you're the vice president of the company." I go, "You see this, Jim? It's not a book. It's called cash money, homie. Is there more money? I don't chase title. I'll chase money."
Like, I'm not looking for a title. I'm looking for pay. Yeah.
I want cash, buddy. I want to get paid. I got $3, dude.
So let me ask you this: was the Revenant band put on the cigar like a show of changing the guard? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say before the Revenant, I think more than before the Revenant, I think the Nicaragua series, which I think if you haven't had it, that'll be a cigar right up your alley, man. That's one of my personal favorites, Mayba Aganosa. It's got that, you know, Jalapa Aganosa flavor to it that's very distinct. And that cigar, I think, started changing the Gurkha look of super ultra looking boxes, like the chests and all that crazy shit that we used to do. So we went back to regular looking boxes, nice looking.
Oh, okay, nice. I did not know that.
Nice looking boxes. I'll get you a box. I'll think try to show a box of Revenant in there. I'll have my girl get it for me. But they're nice looking boxes, but they're not those museum pieces, I like to call them. You know that
right?
You put an okay cigar in there. You charge $18, $20, and then what happens is you'll sell 10 cigars, and then the other 10 is going to be a guy that comes in with his wife, and the wife says, "I want that box. I want that box to put my jewelry in." And the guy goes, "Yes, $350 for 10 cigars." He goes, "I want that box. I want that box." We don't want that. We want the guy to enjoy the cigar and then be able to take the box to his wife. "Here, babe, I thought of you."
Well, I always thought that, you know, I was never a Gurkha smoker. I told you that straight up. You know, my first experience with Gurkha was, and I was, you know, making my journey through the really hardcore, strong cigars back in that day. And I came into a shop and they had Gurkha right front and center when you walked in, and they had the Gurkha Ghost. And I was like, oh, I've been wanting to try this stick. I had really high expectations. I thought it was just okay. I didn't think it was that special. And so that really kind of, that high expectation I had, because I thought it was going to be like upper echelon. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but that just let me down. And then I really just didn't really smoke Gurkha at all because, one, they don't sell them at my local shop. And then
we could fix that. You just email me what it is.
So, well, it's funny. I'll get to that in a minute, because I was actually down at my home shop earlier today, and we were having a full-blown discussion about our experience and where Gurkha is now and where they were back in the day. And so there was a lot of good, positive conversation that I think is what you guys really need is, I mean, just my point of view, I'm not, you know, anybody special, but like, you guys got a black eye, and like, you need a big piece of fat steak to put on that eye. You know what I mean? And the steak is word of mouth, people talking about it, because, man, I haven't heard nothing about Gurkha cigars. And the only thing I know is my experience 7-8 years ago. And then the big football politically incorrect atomic bomb y'all had go off. And I mean, dude, that was a big black eye. And I think
no, that was literally that was a knockout. That was a knockout. That was I would say in my 25 years, brother. It was the toughest 6 months to a year, and the reason it was tough because two things, right? Number one, definitely a fuck up in the world. Without a doubt. Listen,
you can tell he listens to the show because he knows F-bombs are allowed.
Yeah. There is no if, answer, buts about it. Complete fuck up. In a very sensitive time in our country.
Right. Not in a good time. I mean,
and it should never be said because that's not who we are.
Well, and you know what I said straight up was the biggest damage was the whole my computer got hacked. If you would have came out and said, you know what? I don't like the BLM, and this is the reason why, and explain your point of view. At least I respect your integrity. But to come out and say my computer was hacked, man, that's like, all right, I fucked up, but I don't want to admit it.
I'll put it to you this way: that person who came up with that stupid idea,
they don't work for you anymore.
Yeah, they've been fired for a year now. So
yeah,
it was stupid, but it was stupid all the way around.
It was a panic move. It was a panic.
And man, I'll tell you what hurt me the most is, you know, going into places where I was born and raised in Cuba. I came here when I was 10 years old. I lived in an all-black neighborhood in Cuba, and I have a lot of black friends that play baseball with me, wrestle with me. And I go into like a place like Tinderbox Wardor, for example, in Baltimore. I've done a million events there with Raj and Josh, and it's 95% African American, all professionals, cool ass people that I love. I love hanging out, hitting on their wives, as they know I'm hitting on their wives because I'm a cool kid like that. And Juan, he's cool. He's messing with you girls, and I'll sing to them. And then I walk in one day and they go, "Oh shit, Juan, you're in ground zero," because that shit happened, right? I go, "I ain't ground zero. I'm 6 below, bro. I'm 6 feet down. I'm not under the ground right now." And it really bothered me that after building all those great relationships and so many years in the business, everyone literally just put that comment that was said and that opinion by this one person as part of everybody at Gurkha when it's far from the truth.
Right, because
that was for me that. Yeah, exactly. That was for me the toughest part. I mean, and I had so many guys tell me, "Man, you go anywhere in this business, people respect the hell you are." I go, "Listen, man, I'm a guy that stays the course. Number one, he's no longer with the company. He really hasn't been involved in like 5 years. That's another thing people really don't understand about the whole thing with Gurkha. It's been Jim Colucci and myself pretty much running the company for the last 5.5, 6 years. That's bottom line. And you know, he'll chime in every now and then on packaging or some promotional stuff. That's it. That's all he ever did.
Now, I heard rumor that he wasn't really even a cigar guy as far as knowing.
Well, listen, K was never a cigar guy. K was just K's your typical smart Indian guy. So what does Indian business people do, or any business people do? Let me not say it's Indian, because now the Indians won't smoke my cigar if I go crazy on them, right? So any businessman, he surrounded himself with people do things better than what he doesn't know how to do.
Except for Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
I'm a Giants fan, dude.
So you know we suck because Jerry Jones thinks he knows how to do everything. But anyway,
that is true. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. But yeah, so yeah, he was big packaging guy. That's where he came from, and that listen, and that made his company. What hurt me, man, was when I see him sign off on the company that he's literally not the owner anymore. Shares went to his wife. That's been our CPA for God knows how many, probably the whole time. And he's no longer around. And I see this guy literally say, "Man, I worked my ass off for 30 years and I made a stupid comment and they didn't own up to it. And I lost my company. And I lost respect from a lot of people that respected me before, that have met me before, now see me in a different light." And I go, "You and I have spoken about this many, many times. The one thing you don't do when you own a company, or you don't do period, is talk about religion and politics.
Stay away from that, baby.
Stay away from that shit, dude. We talk about cigars, we talk about drinking, we talk about family. That's what we talk about. We don't talk about politics, religion. There's no room for any of that shit, man. Just not in any business. Forget cigar business, not any business. When I go into cigar shop with my reps and I see like people talking politics, I head right out. I mean, I'll either go to the back of the shop. I'll try to avoid it at all times because listen, 99% of the cigar smokers are Republicans. We understand that, and I'm good with that because I'm that guy too. But I stay away. I just stay away from it. I just go away. Don't want to talk about it. Don't care for it because there's always someone's gonna have a different opinion that you have. You're gonna get into an argument. I'm here to smoke a cigar, relax, get to know new people, make new friends. So in a lot of ways, becomes family. A lot of the times, as you know, by going to your shop, your hometown shop, and that's what I love about the industry. But again, man, it was. I did town hall meetings in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow, you had to do town hall meetings.
Oh, brother, I had DD and Company. I had 8 African American owned stores, and one which is Asere, which is BT. He's a white guy from Miami that's married to an African American young lady in Atlanta. He's a beautiful, beautiful cigar shop down there, a cigar bar. He came in as well. I did one in Baltimore. I did one in Memphis. I did one in South Side of Chicago. Dude, yeah, it was like 30, 40 people, business owners, just if not business owners, guys who are brothers of the leaf, and they just wanted to know what was going on, what are we doing, and I said what I'm saying now. I was like, listen, he fucked up. There's no room for that in this industry. There's just no room for that in this industry because we're all humans and we all love cigars and cigar people. I always say this. In 25 years, I've been doing this, and I've traveled 2.3 million miles flying in the air with American Airlines. That's a lot of flying miles. And I've done a lot of events. I've never seen a fight break out at a cigar event. Now, mind you, I've definitely seen a lot of fights at a bar when people are smoking cigarettes and drinking cigar.
Absolutely.
Beer. So that's the difference between cigarette smokers and guys like us that we enjoy the leaf, we enjoy the flavor profile, we enjoy the bourbon, the scotches.
And one of the things that the cigar communities one of the things that makes the cigar community so special is how diverse it is. I mean, we always say, you might be in a lounge smoking with the CEO of IBM and a janitor or whatever. What that also goes so much further because, I mean, look at 2 of my best friends. And I've had black friends before, but not close black friends. Oh, right. And 2 of my very best friends now, because of the cigar community, help me get to know them like no other place I would go. And I've even said, like, if you go to a bar, you're not going to get diversity because there's a certain type of people that go to that bar. You might go to a redneck bar. Well, you know what you're going to find there. You might go to a techno bar. You know what you're going to find there. But you don't get that at a cigar bar. So to drop that kind of a bomb in a community that is as diverse as what we are, that's a big freaking bomb.
No, and it's as small and as close-knit as it is.
Right.
I mean, because what makes, that's one of my favorite quotes by Arturo Fuente, and Carlito Fuente, which I respect and love, is it's about the people, man. It really is. Our industry, it's about the people because everybody, I mean, I would say, listen, there's always an asshole or 2 in a cigar store.
That's me. That's me.
Yeah, but as you know, those guys sometimes get weeded out or they find their own way to their own.
They won't hang out. They don't keep coming because they don't fit in because they're too narrow-minded or they're just assholes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So those guys get weeded out or they have their own little group, which is what makes it, like you said, cigar's great. You go to a redneck bar, you're gonna find rednecks. You go to a country bar, you're gonna find people dancing country music shit. It is what it is, man. But what hurt me was, that I had to go, me and my team, and go and do it all over again. And then we apologize we apologize in the sense of he fucked up, but don't judge us. He's a millionaire. We're not. We're the grunts on the ground, brother. We're the guys pushing the cigars. We're the guys educating you guys on the cigar. He's gonna be a millionaire. You're
the guys out there rubbing elbows every day with the community,
hugging people, rubbing elbows, kissing babies. Whatever it needs to do, what we need to do to befriend and educate the customers on the brand. And that's what we do. And that was like it was a tough 6 months for me, 6 months to 9 months. And then, little by little, it became okay again. It became, you know what, he's not there, and then I had to go out and explain and travel and explain. And I mean, I lost a rep. One rep left the company just because he felt we wouldn't get back to where we were. And I go, listen, bro, you got to stay the course. If you stay the course and you do your homework, and he was in a tough territory, you cannot go ghost on a territory. If you go ghost, that means that you have something to do, or you're a fault. If you face it head on, that means you have balls. That means that you have what it takes to face an issue head on and come up with a solution.
Yeah, you got to face it head on, right or wrong.
Yeah, and this guy literally got away from this territory, went to the rest of the territories, and when I went back with him to that territory, it's like, oh, it took you to come back in with Juan, for you to come back in to something where you couldn't face us without your boss, dude. And then I got pissed at him. And then he got another job somewhere. I was like, good riddance, bye bye. And he was with him for a long time. He's a good guy, but yeah, man, it's listen, we face it, head forward, and company's doing great again. And going back to the ghost, and so you said about cigars.
Yes, I
always smoke a cigar at least twice.
Hey, fair enough. I didn't back then. But now, in fact, in the Leaf today, I told them usually I smoke a cigar at least 3 times before I make my judgment, because we were actually talking about a $50 cigar, and I was like, the first time I smoked it, I was like, it's all right. And then I smoked it again, and I was like, you know what? There was something about it that, wants me to smoke another one. Yeah, and then I smoke another one, and I'm like, you know what? That's a damn good cigar. Now I understand why it's a $50 cigar, because when you have that delicate, profile, you're not going to get it the first time, especially if you just smoked a Partagas Black. You might completely miss it. So you have to do the cigar justice and smoke it more than once. And to be fair, I didn't give the Ghost another shot. And back then, I was smoking and I rarely smoke Partagas Black now. I still do on occasion, but I used to smoke Partagas Black and LFD Chapter 6s like they were going out of style. So I smoke a Ghost, and there was nothing there because I'm smoking, you know what I'm saying? Right. So compared, I didn't really give it a proper chance because I was a young cigar smoker. I've only been smoking cigars for 9-10 years. So at the time, I didn't give it a fair shake. But so go ahead and give me your best sales pitch on the Ghost.
Man, it's funny. The Ghost goes back to how we began this conversation. It's so Gurkha. The Ghost, either you love it or you hate it. Now, mind you, we sell 1.3 million Ghosts a year.
Wow.
Brother, somebody's smoking that cigar, and it's not me because I'm not a Ghost fan either. I think it's a good smoke. It's not my palate. It's not complex enough for me, but
well, that's you hit me right on the palate with the Revenant.
Complexity. Wow. It's gotta be complexity. Because it's complex. It changes on you. Complexity, right? So the Ghost, right? The Ghost that the I call it the Platinum Ghost. Now we have the Gold, which is actually pretty good. I like it better than the other one, but the other one still outsells it 2-1. That one it's your typical guy who loves the Liga Privada smoke. All right. The Liga Privada smoke, the dark stick, but without the Liga Privada complexity. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they like something that has a ton of smoke, it's big and dark, and it's a medium body cigar, not super aggressive, some decent flavor, a little bit of sweetness on the wrapper. It's a Ipiraca Brazilian, so it's got natural sweetness to it.
I was going to say the Brazilian gives you the sweet.
Right. So you're not gonna, but it's all Dominican inside. So unless you have some really good stuff like the LFDs, you know who the guys are who do it the right way when it comes to the Dominican full medium to full body cigars. You know who the Fuentes and the LFD guys. That's what they do. That's what they do. So that's what we're missing in that cigar. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We sell so much of it, and people enjoy it so much that I've seen guys that I would never think. I mean, they're smoking like an LFD, like a digger, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I like the Ghost." I'm like, in my head, I'm going,
right?
Why?
I have a friend that smokes 2 diggers every day.
I'm like, why? What do you like? If you just look at digger, what would you like the Ghost? Oh, it's the smokiness of it. I'm like,
Hey, whatever works for you. Everybody's palate's different.
Everybody's palate's different. And that's why it's another reason why I say, smoke it twice. If you're having a bad day too, man, you're having a bad day, it definitely messes with your head and your palate when you're smoking it. If you're being rushed, if you ate something too spicy or something too salty, that also messes up your palate. Like you said, if you smoke 3-4 cigars, it's like when I go to the PCA and I want like my key accounts to my 80-20 rule to smoke something new, I get them in the morning for breakfast, dude. I go, you come in the morning for breakfast, you're my 80-20 anyway, you're my 20% that does 80% of my business. Don't smoke anything, smoke this, I'll buy you breakfast. Even if it's $150 breakfast, we are in Vegas, right? I want you to smoke so you give it a fair shot. Because if you go around the show and everybody's giving you shit, you got Eric Espinosa giving you his, you got this other guy over here, you got, dude, when you get to my booth, you're shot. You're done.
Right.
You're done, dude. You're done.
The only thing I can taste at that point is a Kentucky Fire Cured.
Well, because and then for that you go and you smoke those Toscanos. That's what they use on that.
I smoked a Toscano last week.
Dude, I tried smoking that. I was in Italy, and I'm sitting there in Italy, man. Where we had just started selling Gurkhas in Italy. And I meet the rep, and the rep's like cool looking dude. He's like, "Oh, yes, Mr. Lopez, we sell $1 billion." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And
wow.
I'm like,
wow.
People smoke this shit.
Yeah, you know what? We cut them in half, and I let my co-host smoke one. I smoked one, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yep, and they are the number one. They take 95% of the Kentucky Cured tobacco in the world. It goes to Toscano Cigars.
Wow, did not know that. It's weird because somebody's buying them.
That's what they told me. That's what they told me. They saw it 95% of the Kentucky Cured tobacco from Kentucky is purchased by our company.
Wow.
And they're huge, dude. They're huge in Europe. They're monsters. They're like Villiger in Europe. You go to Villiger in Europe, it's monster. Here, they're a $5, $6, $7 million company. You go to Europe, Villiger's everywhere, and they're powerful. It's amazing.
Really?
Oh, Jay Cortez, the guys that owned Oliva, dude. You find those little tins everywhere in Europe, everywhere. You go to the U.S., you don't see them anywhere because they thought, well, they did what Cafe Creme did when they bought CAO. They thought that they were going to go in there and Cafe Creme's going to be everywhere. No, man, you already had the CAO flavors. You have the Tatianas. You have the Javas. It's a different marketplace, dude. I mean, and in our market, especially in the U.S., people stray. People will stray for something they like the 2 or 3.
Sure.
In Europe, they only have that one choice, so that's what they smoke.
And I mean, you know what? I saw the Toscano as a cigar that I could leave in my glove box, and if I ever ran out of cigars, I'd have something to smoke, But let me ask you this though. I don't know a lot about Gurkha. So do y'all manufacture any like sweetness infused type cigars?
Yes. So we are the number one selling cognac infused cigar in the United States with the Grand Reserve. We sell about 650,000 of those a year.
Wow.
I think after us is Ted's on that sector. So we have cognac, which is Remy Martin, is what we use. We have rum with Rum Abuelo 7-year, and we also have a Hartsfield and Company out of Kentucky for bourbon. So we have 3 different ones that we use, 3 different flavors, and then we also make cherry, coffee, and vanilla made for us by A. Flores in Dominican Republic.
Okay, I that's not one of my things, but I just want to know if you guys. I mean, it sounds like you guys have your thumb in every pie. So, I figured you did. I just wanted to know because
the actual flavor stuff, the cherry rum and the cherry vanilla, we do okay. It's part of the portfolio because, especially nowadays, the last year that coffee and cherry have taken off because from what I hear, I know nothing. I'm more new in the business. Drew hasn't delivered any Javas to Rocky in a long time. So as soon as I heard that through the grapevine, I go to my right. Push, shelf space, and it's worked pretty decently. We're never going to be a Java. We're not there to be a Java. That's not what we do. But we definitely gotten some market share on that. And listen, man, I'll take 3% of a few million.
Hey, absolutely. And you know,
on the flavored stuff that we infuse ourselves, that we actually infuse it with a full shot of the liquor. It's
a full shot.
A full shot of liquor goes into every single cigar that we infuse in the rum, bourbon, and the cognac. Full shot.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm not a cognac guy, but I thought, and I don't know if you've ever tried one of the Pappy Van Winkle cigars.
Yes, I have.
I thought when I saw that, I was like, you know what? That's got to be a complete marketing gimmick. I bet it sucks. But you know what? I'm going to try one. I tried it and I loved it. I was like, wow, that's a good cigar. And it's not like overpowering with sweetness, which I thought the bourbon would make it that way. But right. So that would make me interested in trying like the bourbon cigar that y'all make. I mean, how's that? Yeah,
so the one we use, man, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to oversweet. So the alcohol has a natural sweetness to it anyway.
Right.
So if you're gonna start putting Maduro and start putting stuff in, we have Maduros for a while, and then I go, you know what? I don't smoke that shit. I just don't smoke it, dude. I sell it, but I don't smoke it, right? And some of my guys do, but I smoke it. I'm like, man, this Maduro overpowers the sweetness of the booze, and together makes a weird kind of flavor. So I cut out all Maduro, and now everything's natural. So a real mild cigar, and we infuse it. I'll send you some when I get back.
So you really get the flavors of the bourbon?
Yeah. You could pick up. Remember, it's infused. So
right.
It's not like we get the leaves and we dunk them in there and run around with it.
You're not chugging the bottle.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, it's you'll get the flavor, and then what I'll do is I'll send you one of each or three of each. Obviously, I'm sorry because you don't have my policy. Is even if you send me one, they get pissed. They're like, "Oh, you're the special guy." No, what I'll do is I'll send you a one of each for you guys, so you can try them. For three obviously, but so you can try the different ones. And I pick it up. I mean, to me, the cognac one, I'm not a cognac drinker either. I drink rum and definitely drink bourbon. Lots of that.
Yeah, same here.
So you guys could try it out and tell me what you think. And it's not cheap. I mean, you're talking, they're in that $12 to $16, $17. I have accounts that sell it so well here in South Florida and some other parts where there's no tobacco tax, right? I have a guy here in South Florida that buys probably 300-400 of those cognacs a month from me.
Wow.
He's charging $25 a piece. He gets it all day.
Wow.
He's making Keystone times 3, dude.
Very nice. Hey.
But it's the only cognac one that he has. He doesn't have it like a whole bunch of different ones. If you want something with cognac, you got Gurkha. If not, buy a cognac and smoke a cigar, right?
Right.
So
let me ask you this while we got you. How did you get your start in the tobacco business, and what made you want to get into the tobacco business?
Man, so it was pure luck. So I studied marketing and business in college. I graduated, started working for an advertising company. Always liked cigars. My first cigar was actually Hoya, Nicaragua, when I was 18 years old in San Francisco. I used to go every year to San Fran, and actually Daly City. My uncle lived out there, so he'll fly me out there so I could spend the whole summer with my cousin, which is my brother. And we'll run around, all of San Fran, all that Oakland, all that area, like crazy kids that we were. And back then the age was 18. I was 21. So we went in and there was a place called right in front of Fisherman's Wharf called Just a Cigar. And it had a big stogie, like smoking up with like steam and shit. So we went in there.
Oh, badass.
Dude, it was cool as shit. I remember buying the Hoya Nicaragua for like $250.
Nice.
So we bought it, and it was already a full body cigar. My cousin and I smoking it. My cousin's a big cigar guy like me, and after that him and I kept smoking throughout college when I'm in my regular job. So I get paired up with Carlos Torano one day. Old man Torano to play golf, and I had known. Before that, I worked for like about 8 months with Caribbean Cigars. They haven't been around forever. They used to do like Calle Ocho, Free Cuba. It was owned by
I remember. Yeah.
It was owned by Kevin Doyle. They were big with the West Indian vanillas, a lot of flavored shit. We sold all of that. So I got a job there. But again, I said, you know what, man, I'm sick. I'm making decent money, but wearing a 3-piece suit or a suit in 99-degree weather, 100% humidity to go sell advertising sucks. I needed a change, and I was 24 years old. So I literally, go in and I walk into Caribbean Cigars. They're like, yeah, we're hiring. I fill my paperwork. They hire me. Lasted about 8 months until the company closed down because Kevin stole $25 million from the investors because it went public. Yeah.
Wow.
But now in those 8 months, what did I do? I dove in full throttle, like I do in everything I do. Like I tell my kids, if you're gonna do something, be the best at what you do, right? So I literally went deep in. I wanted to learn everything. I got to know Tony Borhani. I got to know Rocky. I got to know everybody in the business in 8 months. I just wanted to get to know all these guys, befriend these guys, and so have scotches together, party together, whatever it may be. And then this happens with Caribbean, and I knew Seth Levine, which is Omen Torano, as you know, that just passed away recently.
Right.
His daughter's husband. He had met me, and we had drinks at a trade show in Nashville. And he goes, dude, Juan, you want to come work for us, man? You'll be our first rep. We pay this, we pay that. I go, let's do it. And started with them. And
now, what year was that? What year was that?
That was 96.
Wow.
1996. I started with Torano. I lasted there until they moved distribution to CAO. So CAO offers me a job to move to Arizona from Miami. When I was at Torano, so in Torano, I handled Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan, correct. And then on the West Coast, I handled Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico, and Colorado. So it was 4 reps. We have 4 reps, and we're doing like 10 million in sales. By the way, at $55 a box, because
wow.
Torano was never an expensive cigar. It was always a $7, $8, $6 cigar. So we did that for a while. So they wanted to move me to Arizona. I had just got married. I have 2 daughters. I had bought my beautiful dream home because I was making really, really good money. And I called a buddy of mine and told him, "Money, don't come out here, bro. You'll land somewhere." So I had a meeting with them in Nashville. I rejected the offer. Came home, had a meeting with Mike Salucci. I don't know if you remember Mike Salucci, the old president of Drew Estate, with JD and Marvin. And they wanted to hire me, but back then, all they had was acid and Via Havana. I don't smoke acid, and Via Havana was not a good cigar.
Yeah.
JD tells me every time I see him, "You would have been a rich man by now." I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Don't remind me, dude."
Hey, you would have had your own company somewhere because everybody who worked for Drew went to do their own thing.
Exactly. You're right. So anyway, so from there, Rocky calls me, and he goes, "Juan, what are you doing?" I go, "Good. Where have you landed? You take a job with those guys?" I go, "No." He goes, "Come to Bonita. You come with me. You work with Rocky, with us." So I went with there. He made me. I went around training, national sales director, training all the reps and independents that we had at that time at Rocky, before he went all in house. And that lasted about a year. It was a good fit, man, but it was a lot of work and a lot of boozing and a lot of craziness. And when you have such a great team that they had there, meaning management team, you got Nimish, you got Dave Bullock, you got Nish. There's really no place for growth within that company. Right, so you don't want to spend all your time.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere because those positions are taken.
Yeah, exactly, right. So we parted ways. We're still great friends. Those guys are my boys for life. They're my brothers for life. And I went to Kaizad, and I literally Kaizad. I got off with somebody else. I just went to Kaizad. And I go, "Listen, bro, I need a job." He goes, "What happened to Rocky?" I go, "I didn't see the growth." He goes, "Juan, I really don't have anything here right now. I have a vice president, national sales manager right now." I go, "I'll tell you what, bro. You pay me $50,000 a year and give me 10% commission, and give me a list of any account you have not sold to in the last year." He goes, "That's not what it takes." I go, "Absolutely." My first year, I sold $1.5 million.
I was going to say the percentage was good too.
The second best rep was Shauna Williams, who works for Jonathan Drew right now for Drew Estates. She sold $390,000.
Wow.
The second year, I sold $2 million. And the third year, they made me VP of sales.
Whew. Wow. Congratulations. And I mean, hey, you worked your ass off to get it. And I'm
still working my ass off.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing about it is I tell people all the time, my wife says I work my ass off nonstop. I'm a workaholic, and I don't see it that way because I love what I do. And so as long as I'm doing what I love, I mean, if I'm not working, I'm like, I'm thinking about working. You know, it's like
you're grinding.
Right.
I grind all the time.
What do I need to do next? I should be doing this, or you know, it's just nonstop. So I completely understand. And I talk to a lot of people who want to jump into doing business, and my first thing is, you know, you got to be willing to work your ass off, because all these people that you idolize, they didn't get there by some viral video on Instagram. They worked their ass off.
Yes, sir. That's right. Well, like going back to like 2.5 million miles flying,
right?
Hotel nights, and hey, listen. And my daughter's always I have 3 girls. You know, I got divorced. You know, listen, it takes a toll on your family. The travel takes a toll on your family.
Sure.
Mind you, my daughters, you know, have gone to the best high schools, colleges. They're all professionals now.
It's been worth it.
Well, and they knew that Dad wouldn't miss birthdays. That would have missed soccer matches. That would have missed volleyball tournaments, and I never really did. Right. And that's, so they always say that you're an awesome dad, but you're a great provider. And I go, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm good with that.
Hey, you know what's funny? That's what my wife says about me. I'm a great provider. And I'm like, hey, that's because, you know, depending on how you're made, that's what your goal is.
Listen, man, I've been poor and I've done okay for myself. I like doing okay for myself better than being poor.
Hey, I'm with you, man.
Hey, listen, I always tell people the best cheese came in a brown box, man. It's got government cheese.
Hey, I've had it.
Hey, I mean, dude, I got here from Cuba with my mom and my sister. I was 10 years old. My mom was 31 years old. A nurse in Cuba, didn't speak English here, worked in bakeries and cafeterias all her life until she retired. And you know, she's still my driving force behind my work ethic and hard work, and she's still my idol and the woman I look up to. And funny enough, I go on to have 3 daughters, and now one is in sales doing incredible stuff with selling software. The other one is a forensic accounting for Ernst & Young, Beast in DC, and I have a sophomore in high school that wants to be a YouTube star like everybody else nowadays.
Hey, I got a little brother that's 12 years younger than me. And up until a few weeks ago, he had a motorcycle accident, but he's recovering well. But he's known on TikTok as the UPS dancer. If you're on TikTok, if you see a UPS guy dancing with hundreds of thousands of followers, that's my little brother.
That's crazy, man.
I know.
It's mind-boggling to me how...
I mean, all he does is dance in a UPS outfit. I'm like, maybe I should do that.
I mean, no shit. Right? Well, dude, I mean, there's crazy, but listen, we still like to go out there. I personally, man, like you said, it's still work what we do, okay? Because I know that when late October hits every year, especially the last like 7-8 years, it hurts. Because when you go out there and you're in sales and you're with your team and you're with your guys and your girls, you know, I have two female reps too, and you go out there, our hours are not 9 to 5. We start at 9:30 in the morning. We're in the first shop by 10, and we could be in the last shop at 2 in the morning, because it could be a cigar bar. It could be, I mean, I've got an order with my California rep at 4 in the morning at Cuban Cigar Factory, because the old owner, Gus, wouldn't see us until the bar closed at 2:30, and then by the time they close, he's got to count the money, blah, blah, blah. And then he'll sit with us. He order pizza, we'll drink a bottle of Johnny Walker Black, and here comes a $10,000 order at 4:30 in the morning. And mind you, we've got to get up at 9:30 and do it all over again. Wow. And that's what we do. And that's what we do. And I always tell people it's not as easy. And I've hired some guys, and I've had really good success. I've had my core of my team with me at least 7 to 8 years, which is pretty hard in this business.
So you don't have a huge turnover rate?
No, man. The guys that have left, so the one guy we talked about already. The other guys, Charlie Watson took a job with Altadas as a key accounts manager. I got Javi Carranza, which I don't know if you know. He's the national sales director for Plasencia. So I'm like the. It's funny because I got all these guys nowadays. So Juan, you're like you become like Bill Parcells' olive branch.
Yeah, you're the guy graduating them up.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because I tell all the guys, I go, just remember one thing. Who got you to the game, and one day the OG, it might come to you and go, hey, listen, I need a gig, a part-time gig as a consultant for your company, since you're now the president.
Right. Well, hey, man, I want to say thank you so much for reaching out. First of all, as we said on the show, I thought that was a class act. I thought that was the way you approached the whole scenario was professional, and it really showed that you care about the brand. I mean, some guys would have been like, "What? Who the hell is this guy doing some show making shirts that's making fun of the company that I love?" And so the fact that you reached out the way you did, I mean, when I first got your message, I was like, "Uh-oh, this guy's gonna be pissed." But instead, you wanted to have a conversation, and so I appreciate that, because I think that that's what the cigar community is all about, is having conversations, and those conversations is how we learn and evolve. So I appreciate the way that you reached out, and I appreciate your willingness to come on the show and share the story and not give us some bullshit about, how to make it look nice. Instead, you just told us what happened. You were honest about it. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I respect. So your cigar the cigars that you sent me, I thought they were phenomenal. I've told people that. I took the browbeating, being called a sellout for telling people I thought they were good. But you know what? I beat up on Gurkha for a long time, and I'm not gonna be an asshole.
No, hey, Robin, listen. Just from like listening to your cast the other day and talking to you now, and I'm sure we'll see each other, and we're gonna share a few cocktails when we see each other. Where are you based out of? I never asked that question.
Abilene, Texas.
So what's like the closest?
Fort Worth, Dallas.
Okay, so I'm gonna be out there with Ethan. You know my rep, Ethan. You met Ethan before, big boy?
You know what? How long is he? He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been with me for 6 years now.
I think I met him about 2 years ago. He came by the Leaf, and I think they were getting ready to do something with y'all, maybe. And the whole box thing scared him away. And then the whole politically incorrect stuff bombed, and it was like, nope, not doing that. So yeah, okay, I've met him once.
I'm definitely going to reach out to you when I come out there. It'll definitely be before PCA, so or even Rocky Mountain in August. So I'll definitely reach out, and we'll get together, brother. We'll come to the Leaf, and we'll have a few cocktails.
Absolutely.
But yeah, definitely appreciate you having me on, brother. And listen, man, I like you, man. I love that you have the passion for our industry. I love that you take time to educate the customers. Listen, not every cigar is going to be a great cigar. Not every cigar is for everybody. When I reach out, I mean, you're one of the few guys I reach out to, because I'm like, man, I gotta start somewhere. The actual conversation, because the conversation is not had, nothing's going to get fixed.
Nobody knows. Nothing changes.
Correct.
If you don't get out and say.
That's why my first question to you was, when was the last time you smoked a Gurkha? 5 or 7 years ago? And you go, that's about right. So there we are, right? So because I've gotten that a lot from a few people that have done that. I got another guy that said the same thing. He's like, "Oh man, I don't like the owner because the owner thinks Gurkha is this." I go. Listen, I told the owners, you were making for a very long time. You're always telling people we're the most expensive cigar, HMR, this, that. So you're selling to the 1%ers. I want to sell to the 99%ers that drive Toyotas, BMW, Ford. That's what we want to sell to. That's why when you look at our portfolio, it went from everything being like $15 to $1,000 to $5 to $15, and that's that's where we make our monies. What's up, buddy? Come down. I'll let you out now.
And I think I think that's where most companies really, if they're not trying to hit that market, is where they should hit that market, because everything's going up in price all the time. I mean, we know there's increases, but if you can somewhere be from $5 to $15, your regular guy who wants to come and smoke on a regular basis can enjoy cigars and not have to give up his truck to do so.
I agree with you 1,000,000%. And it's funny because I sent the guys at Cigar Aficionado, since we don't advertise, they don't put any of my shit up anymore. We used to advertise, we took it down because it's just not worth spending $170,000 on Cigar Aficionado, my personal opinion.
I mean, what a one-page ad's like $28,000 just for one magazine.
Yes, $30,000 times 6 is 180 grand. That's what it is. And not only that, then they want you to go to the Big Smoke and give away 3,000 cigars for free. I mean, airfare, this and the others. Like, cigars are not free. We pay for the cigars. So I sent to Half Wheel, Charlie,
Yeah,
and some of the other publications. We're one of the few companies this year that didn't raise our prices. And Cigar Aficionado never mentioned us. These guys did because they're friends. But sad to say that they're supposed to be the people behind the industry that people, respect. But if you don't advertise with them, they won't put your information.
I posted a poll on Instagram, I don't know, about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. And my poll was, do you read Cigar Aficionado or not? And then the next click over was another poll that said, if you do read Cigar Aficionado, how often have you ever bought a cigar that was on a full page ad? And the first came back of 15% of the only people read Cigar Aficionado. Only 15%. And then on those 15% that did, like 2% said they had bought a cigar they saw in the ad. And I was like, so why are people spending $30,000 on single page ads? And is that only because if I know I don't spend that money on the ad, I'm not going to end up in the top 25? There, I said it. And if you look every year, listen, you look every year. This year, 23 out of the 25, all advertiser. Even if it's a little ad like this, that's 10 G's, you still have to advertise. Same thing with going to the Big Smokes and all that shit. Dude, I'd rather give the money back to the retailer and have him promote my product within the store than give away $200,000 to a guy that's sitting in his throne thinking his shit don't stink and smoking fucking Cubans anyway. Right? We're on the same page there too, man. Hey, well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on Cigar Talk. We really do appreciate the professionalism you guys showed, and you've really given me a whole new perspective on the Gurkha brand, which that almost hurts for me to say, but I'm a man of my word, and I am going to be truthful. So that's what it is. And you guys have impressed me. You've impressed me. And on another note, man, I hope all that's going well with your family. I know that you've had some things going on that I've been through myself, and just let you know that we are thinking about you, and we hope that all works out there, brother.
Oh, thank you, but yes, my stepfather, great man, love my mother like no one else, and he will be missed dearly, but he's in a much better place. He's been going through Parkinson's and dementia for 4.5, 5 years. He'll have a good day, 25 bad days. And
so on. I've been there too, man, and it's not easy.
It's been a tough week, but we're happy that he's in a better place for sure. And we put our heads down now. We move forward and just remember him in the glory that he's in and all the great memories that he left us with. So
awesome, man. Awesome, man. Well, bless you. And hey, man, if you ever need anything from us, feel free to reach out. And I hope you have a good weekend, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for having me, man. And for everyone, keep listening to this guy. This guy's the truth. I like you, bro. You're good people, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging through the break. Juan Lopez, to me, gives a meaning to someone who takes the position of vice president seriously.
Yes, sir.
Because there's a lot of companies that, you got guys taking that role, but they're not interacting with the guys.
Yeah, true.
Like you said, we're nobody.
Nobody.
And so for him to reach out to the low life,
we're below the bar
of Cigar Talk.
Yeah,
it tells me something.
Yeah, it does. It speaks
volumes.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yeah,
because I never expected to be contacted by Gurkha.
No.
You know what I mean?
Not without a lawyer,
right? And
cease and desist.
And I'll even tell you this. I was supposed to do his interview last week.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But because of the email issue, I I didn't know they were reaching back out to me, and I get a text message from Juan Lopez. It's like, hey, dude, are we doing this today? And I was like, oh, shit. I completely forgot because it never went on my calendar.
Yep.
So he had Bianca send me an email, and then she called and was like, hey, Rob, what's going on? We haven't been able to get a hold of you. We don't have the link for the interview. And I was like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I just found out that our email has been down for like 5 days. And so she was like, hey, no problem. It's happened to us. And whenever you're ready. So I scheduled it for Thursday.
Gotcha.
And so all of that delay was on me.
Gotcha.
And so, dude, some people who have the title of vice president would be like, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
5.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're balls deep, okay?
You're not lying.
At this time, we are balls deep.
We see.
We're not going to try.
No, they hear.
Right, okay. So, but no, I appreciate that because it could have been easily,
yeah.
You know what?
Overlooked
We
and
reached
moved
out
on. Yeah.
and they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and so screw them.
That again shows me his commitment to, proving that who they were, they're not anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So far,
We're good.
they're kicking ass.
Yeah, we're good.
And now this is the second half of the show.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure. This is the first half, is it?
Is it?
No, I'm kidding. So let's talk about our pick six
Yes,
of
sir.
the week.
Yes, sir.
We didn't have one last week, but we did have some really good information.
Yes.
So we shared that. And, let's share about what we've been smoking for the last week. You went out of town.
Yeah.
How'd that go as far
Very
as
good.
your opportunities to enjoy cigars?
Oh, man, it was perfect.
Really?
I drove by myself, so that means I had the opportunity to enjoy some good sticks, and 3 of them on this list.
But your wife is cool with you smoking with her in the car.
Yeah, but it's different because I love to drive. I love to ride and let the windows down.
When you're driving by yourself, you might smoke one after the other.
Yeah.
Where with your wife,
It's one and
It's
then-
like I'll smoke one and then take a long break,
Yeah,
and I do that. No, I don't.
Yeah, we know you don't.
I smoke one after the
Yeah.
other, even if she's in the car.
But it was an opportunity for me to get some good, time in, and I had some great sticks in 3. These 3 are from that drive to Euless and back.
And that's a great drive.
Yeah, it was.
That's not a bad drive.
No, it isn't. Well, the construction.
If you
but-
got music and cigars and some good bourbon, that's a
that
great
was the
drive.
thing. The music. I got to play music that I love.
And
because
what bourbon were you drinking?
I didn't drink any bourbon. I was driving.
Oh, so that's off limits.
Way off limits for me.
yeah.
I don't play that game at all.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to spill it. So,
Alcohol abuse. I got
Boom.
you. I got you. So my 3 this week, not in any order. The Placencia 149.
Kosheka.
Yes,
That's a
Kosheka.
great stick. That's a new stick.
Man,
I always loved the 146, and the 149 has not let me down. It was just as rich.
number 2 was My Father, the Judge.
I have not smoked that cigar in probably 3 years.
It's been
When
a
I-
minute for me too.
Yeah, when I smoked it, I was not a big fan of it. Because at that time in my journey, I was on the Lee Bijou 1922.
Yeah.
But since then, I've gone to the 1922 all the way down to the Oferte.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe I need to revisit that.
Revisit,
Because
bro.
it was not like it was a bad cigar. It just wasn't in the wheelhouse that I was currently on.
Got you. And my last one this week is the Definition Cigars Cameroon.
The green bag.
Oh, yes.
How was it?
Construction, perfect. Smoke, perfect. Flavors, those ride again, because we know that Cameroon that they put out was that's a good stick. It was just what I remembered, and I was thankful for that.
They knocked it out of the park on the Cameroon.
Man,
Because there's a lot of Cameroons that miss the opportunity with the complexity blends because you're just hitting the face with the whole Cameroon, and they leave out
the opportunity to blend other things in there.
So they knocked it out of the park with that stick. I'll give them credit.
Oh yes.
If you deserve credit, I'm going to give it to you.
That was my 3 for this week, and it was a good week.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're alive and smoking, it's a good week.
This is a good week.
You know. You weren't here last night for the Light 'Em Up Crew show. No. We did my top 8 ways for me to die. Not for you, but for me.
You told me.
They're very personalized. Because, I'm all about experiencing life. And I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to chill out. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Gotcha.
Because I want the experience. And that's one of the things that cigars is for me.
True.
It's like, I like to reach outside of my wheelhouse and see what's going on.
Gotcha.
And that's one of the reasons I'm enjoying this Gurkha. What is it called? The Revenant Maduro.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that would not be a cigar that I normally would pick up off the shelf because I don't smoke a lot of Maduros. And when I do, I tend to lean to the Maduros I already know.
Gotcha.
But this has been a great experience. And so that's one of the things that we are always open to when it comes to the big picture is we try a lot of cigars.
Oh, yes, we do. And we enjoy a lot of cigars because we step outside of our wheelhouse. We find things that we're like, oh, man, I would have never thought that was a good stick.
Right.
And you're like, that could be added to the list.
That was like the San Cristobal Revelation.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never smoked that cigar. I mean, I might have, but it might not have even been sold by the time I got around to it,
Gotcha.
Because I'm slow on getting to different cigars sometimes.
Gotcha.
But that one was just a luck of the draw, and I loved it. In fact, you know what? We need to smoke those on the show soon.
We will.
Have you had one?
Nope.
That's a great stick.
Gotcha.
I will try to have those in the studio next time we come.
Okay.
So, anyway, let's get to my pick 6 top 3.
Gotcha.
And I hope that what you guys at home or in your car or maybe you're in your coffin, last rites, you might as well know what to smoke. But no, if you haven't tried these, this is the cigars that we enjoy at a level that's like, you should try these.
Yeah.
Because they kicked it up a notch for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so this week for me, right out of the gate, I used to be a much more dedicated Roma Craft fan than I am now.
Uh-huh.
But every now and then, I still enjoy a really good Roma Craft, and they usually don't let me down.
Yeah.
But I had the genetic deformity.
Uh-oh.
And that's the, what's the orange band line?
Neanderthal, yeah.
I had the genetic deformity, which I could be mistaken, but I think it's like a 4.5 by 50. But it like starts at a 50, goes up to a 52, and then shrinks back down to a 50. And like it's a pretty strong cigar, but at the same time, because of that Vitola, it's like not overpowering. I can enjoy a strong cigar and not go down the road of I need a nap. I need something to get me over the hump.
Yeah.
Because it was just the perfect amount of in-your-face Ligero. And it's a good smoke.
Yeah.
And, I mean, at the price point, I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think I remember it being around $10.
Yeah. That's right around the price point on it.
Yeah. And, I love cigars in that
wheelhouse.
$9 to $11 cigars. Because I think that the upper echelon of cigars are in that price point.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that we have cigars that are at the 15, 18,
yeah.
20, 25, 30, 35, 45. I don't know. Can I get the same? You know, I get into my cowboy days of auctioning cattle.
Oh, my God.
But no,
man.
those price points, I get. Those not only are good, but you know what? They should be good.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So when you find that $9 to $11 cigar that meets the quality and blend of the upper echelon, you appreciate them that much more. So you should be trying the Pick 6. If you haven't smoked what we name off in the Pick 6, you should try it because it's going to be an experience. That's what we're looking for. We want that experience, right?
Most definitely.
So that was my number one this week. My number two this week was the Riata in the 6x46. And I know that one has made my list regularly in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, here lately.
And I almost hesitate from putting a cigar on the list that made it as recent as it has, but when it makes the impact on you, that's like,
made.
dude,
Yeah.
that's freaking phenomenal.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
So I want to add that if it actually made the top 3.
Yeah.
And if you have not smoked the 6x46 Riata,
You gotta try it.
I recommend it because it is like a game
Lights
changer.
out.
Game changer. So anyway, that was that. And then my number 3 this week is the Tabanero Nero, which is the Maduro.
Yeah.
And I actually smoked it when I wasn't like busy.
Okay.
Because, you know, I smoke a lot of cigars while I'm busy. And when I'm busy, like, I might miss part of the experience because
You hot box.
I'm Bixie. I'm Bixie. I'm busy doing shit,
Bixie.
you know, computer work, whatever. I'm not focused on the
that stick.
cigar.
Yeah.
But I smoked it just like I got some bourbon, I got some music playing. It was just me by myself, and I sat back and I enjoyed the cigar, and it kicked it up a notch.
Okay.
Because I've smoked it before and I liked it, but this time I enjoyed the notes of the cigar, which kicked it up a notch. Because my fault, I hadn't taken the time to really explore that cigar. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So anyway,
that's a good stick. That's a good.
That's a good pick 6.
Yeah.
That's a good pick 6 all the way around.
Yeah.
So if you haven't tried those, definitely try them. And a lot of those you're going to find at the Leaf.
Yes, sir.
Look in the show notes, call them up, have them make you a sampler from the cigars we mentioned.
Yes. And you won't be disappointed.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I mean, it's almost like if you took a clown.
Here we go.
And beat the shit on him. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
So,
quick thing.
Are we going to break, or we had the break?
We already had the break.
How about that, folks?
Quick note.
We've already had the break, and I didn't remember.
And I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
Because you're about freedoms. You're
Always.
100% about freedoms.
As long as they don't impede on other people's freedoms.
But here's the issue. In the United States, we enjoy a lot of freedoms. And we have to understand that when we leave the United States, things that we can do and that we are blessed with here, we will not get other places, right?
I think when you go to another country, even though I don't have experience with that, other than Mexico and Canada, I think you're respectful of the culture.
Yes. So I want to ask your opinion.
In fact, when I go somewhere, I want to know what their culture is
beforehand.
And it's not that I'm like trying to kiss their ass. It's more of what have I never heard about? Because I grew up in West Texas.
Yeah.
And so I find other cultures very interesting because it's not what I know.
So let me ask your opinion on this. Do you know who Brittany Griner is?
I know who Britney Spears is.
No, Brittany Griner. She's a
Oops, I did it again.
no. She's a WNBA player.
Oh, okay. Where's
Man.
she from?
I think she's from Texas.
Well, that's not like different culture than me.
No, but hold on. So, if you've read any of the news, she in the off season.
I haven't, but go
she
ahead.
in the off season for the WNBA. She goes over to Russia and plays basketball.
Okay.
So she has been detained in Russia.
While all this is going on in the Ukraine.
Yes, but she's been
What
detained.
do you mean detained?
The police have her. And the reason why the police have her is because they caught her getting ready to get on a plane with a vape stick that had cannabis oil in it.
And is that against the law there?
Yes.
Oh.
And now people are speaking out. Well, they should understand why she's in their country.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
if you go to another country, and I mean, like when you go to Colorado, that's the norm.
Yeah.
But when you go to Russia, if it's illegal, you're breaking their
The
laws.
laws.
And even though
You're
I
an
don't-
American
I'm
citizen,
not
it doesn't
a
mean
fan
anything.
of Russia. I am not a fan of Putin.
Yeah.
And if you are a fan of Putin, grow the fuck up and have some red, white, and blue balls. All right? But you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
there. But no, I mean, if I'm in another country, I mean, I've seen documentaries where like young girls or young guys were in another country and someone tempted them, if you take these heroin packets in your ass and go back up to America, we're going to give you $25,000. And they are tempted enough to where they go, okay, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, holy shit, they're in the Ecuadorian prison.
Yeah.
And then they get caned and people are outraged. And I'm like, where was the outrage that this dude is shoving heroin in his asshole?
Dude,
I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point.
You're going way out there to make the point, though.
Okay. And that's how people learn.
Yes.
That's how people learn. Because when that dude goes to prison, I'm like, okay, do your time.
Yeah.
Because you went
broke
to their house.
Yeah. And see, that's where I was going to bring it to me. To me, it's the same thing as what you do in your house, what I do in my house, I can't do in your house.
Well,
And that just, I mean, seriously. What
a
you
lot
do,
of people,
hold up.
a lot
Let me
of
put it
people-
this
Let
way.
me just say this, that a lot of people are surprised at what I allow to happen in my house.
But here's the thing. What you do, I'm gonna change it. What you do in your house, you're not gonna do in mine.
No.
Because you're not gonna go use the restroom and do it the way you do it at your house.
in the backyard.
But that's the mentality of it. Respect those people's
don't
laws.
know what your like level of comfort of me shitting in your house is, so I'm gonna do it the regular way. Except, just know I will be naked.
See, that's the problem. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
You won't know.
I don't want to know.
I'll be doing selfies.
But here's the thing. I know you, so I'm going to be like, oh, man, he in there butt naked in my bathroom. But
Do you realize that when I'm on the throne,
oh, my God.
the clothes come off, but also
We don't want to
even the wedding ring comes off.
Dude, you get what?
I want to be like, as I come into this world, how I'm going to shit on the toilet. That's I want to be
Gosh.
the bare human experience.
I'm done. I'm sorry. I even brought that up. I'm done.
The ring comes. You know what? There's been lots of times when I've called my wife and I'm like, I've lost my wedding ring. And she's like, I found it in the bathroom.
You think, oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot I had the shit.
God, man. I'm sorry, y'all.
And if you have not experienced that level of comfort
No.
on the throne,
I'm not.
I highly recommend it.
Not planned. Dude, come on, man.
I do that in a truck stop.
Oh, no.
They got a hook on the door.
The show is yours.
All
I'm
my
done.
clothes, my flip-flops, my wedding ring is coming off because I'm going to be comfortable. There's only one way to take care of your business.
I'm done, y'all.
Hey guys, that's gonna wrap it up for
It
this
was more
week's-
than enough to wrap it up.
That's gonna wrap it up for this week's show. And until next time,
Keep your clothes on.
boom.
Dude.